Hi, time for another beach time rant. Sorry about any wind noise. I do have the wind reduction filter on this, but audio is always going to be an issue in somewhere like this. And yes, I do have a Thunderbirds t-shirt on. Look at that, awesome. Anyway, I just got an email from Lily Drones. You might remember the name. More than a year and a half ago, I think it was May 2015, they made a big splash with this autonomous tracking drone thing. You would have like a wrist transmitter or whatever, and it would transmit your position to the drone, which, you know, fit it in the palm of your hand, just let it go, and it flies up in the air, and it follows you around. You know, if you're skiing down a mountain or something like that, it'll like fly around your head and follow you down, and all sorts of whiz-bang stuff. The wind's picking up. Anyway, all sorts of, you know, it looked fantastic. They had a real slick video, and I was actually caught in by it, hype at the time, and I thought, they're probably not going, you know, there could be a lot of issues with this thing, but, you know, they were, like, I thought it was only like $500 or something, which is a fair amount for a drone, but for what the capability of what it was what they claimed that this thing was going to do, I thought, yeah, why not? I'll back it. It'll be good blog material and all that sort of stuff if they ever deliver the thing. I can't remember the original delivery schedule and all that. But anyway, this was unusual in that it was not a crowdfunding campaign. It wasn't Kickstarter, wasn't Indiegogo. They actually took pre-orders on their website. Now, this was a venture capital backed company. They had got, I believe it was like $1 million in the first round, and then 14 million, so like 15 million total venture capital funding. And then this video went viral of this, you know, fantastic thing, sucked in 60,000 people, and to pay like $500 a drone. So they got about $30 million in pre-orders for this thing. So this was a cashed up company. This was like, you know, like a $45 million cashed up company. And they'd been working on it for like a year before that or something like that. Oh yeah, the wind's picking up. Sorry. Anyway, I got an email today that, sorry, the journey's over. Wah, 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 wah. And they haven't delivered, well, I'm not going to say they haven't delivered anything, but they haven't delivered to any backers. They've delivered beta units to beta testers. I was not one of them. I asked them. In fact, I believe they even inquired for advertising on my website, or maybe on my YouTube channel or something. They didn't know that I was a backer of this thing. And anyway, I sent them my rates and everything, and they didn't get back to me. I said, hey, you know, can I be part of the beta program or whatever? You know, I've got a big YouTube channel and all that sort of jazz, and, you know, didn't really hear back from them. Anyway, they just sent out an email today. I don't think it's hit the news anywhere else yet, but yeah, the journey's over and we're not going to deliver anything. Sorry. Apparently the reason is they were hoping to get some new funding, some new VC funding in order to deliver the actual units. Because as of December 23rd on Twitter, on their Twitter account, they were saying, yeah, we're on track for delivering. They said they were going to deliver in December, and like US orders in December, everyone else in January. So they were all saying this right up until the last minute, when the wheels fell off the billy cart. They couldn't get the funding, and they had to admit that, sorry, journey's over. But to their credit, they are offering refunds. But I'm a little bit skeptical of this, because I don't know where they're going to get the $30-odd million from. Because if they had $30 million to refund the 60,000 backers at $500 a pop, it was even more than that. If you paid for it later, it was like $1,000 or something, I think. It was more expensive. But yeah, I don't know where they're going to get their money from to refund everyone for this thing. So yeah, the verdict's still out anyway. I filled in a form to get my refund, and whether or not I'll ever see my money, I don't know. But this just is a classic example of a company that got too big for their boots. Instead of just focusing on the product and focusing on delivering, and when you got that much venture backing funding, you should have had a product almost ready to go into production. And that's kind of what it sounded like. I can't remember the exact details. I'd have to go through this. It's not going to be a polished edited video. It's just a single take thing. So I can't do any post research before I upload. But yeah, classic example of just, you know, getting too big for their boots and trying to be, you know, the best. I mean, to their credit, right, that's their vision. They want to be the best drone out there or something, but it doesn't matter squat. Real artists deliver. Was that Jobs, or he stole the line from somebody else? I don't know. Anyway, yeah, real engineering companies deliver. They don't just like keep right up until the last minute promising, but that's typical corporate stuff. Like right up until, like just like a week ago, what is it now, 12th of January, and in 23rd of December they're still tweeting out that, yeah, we're delivering, all that sort of stuff, but it all hinged on, they thought they were going to get some more venture capital funding, and they didn't. Whoops! And they failed, and they just, money went to their head. I don't know, they got too much money, they were too popular, they tried to do too much, would be my guess. It'd be interesting to get the inside story of this one actually, because it's basically, you know, 50 million or 45 million bucks in funding, 30 million bucks in pre-orders, and they took the money from your credit card. It's not like it was just a, you know, the money vanished from my account, you know, so they actually got the money up front. It's not like they were short of dosh. So yeah, they failed. Kamagata, big time. So it'd be interesting to hear the story of this one, I think. And it wasn't crowdfunded, but they had a genuine go. This wasn't a scam or anything like that. I think they just, you know, tried to be big corporate. You know, they wanted to be this huge, big drone company instead of just focusing on delivering the actual product. But yeah, some beta testers have it, but I think they were quite notorious in not actually showing the real operation of it. You know, so I don't know about the original video, how photoshopped or fake that was with all the capabilities. It might have been real, but it might have been real hacked firmware or something, and I don't know, was it a firmware issue in the end? Because this is a lot of smarts inside this thing. It is just like a, you know, that's basically, it's just a drone, right? But it's all the smarts of being able to track someone, figure out where they are, how far they are, which camera angle to get, and to pan around them like this as they're skiing down the hill and stuff like that, you know. So I thought it'd be really good for adventure stuff, maybe on the beach here, something like this, you know, like you're running down the beach or you're doing something, whatever, you know, you're playing frisbee or whatever, and you've got this drone tracking you from 10 meters away, just getting the optimum shot. And that's got to be, yeah, I think they bit off more than they can chew there. That's complex algorithm stuff and probably very difficult to nail. But they took the chance. They thought that they could do this. Take 15 million bucks in venture capital funding, 30 million bucks in pre-orders. It's enormous. I don't know if you know of a bigger pre-order campaign, because I don't think there's been a crowdfunder that big, has there, at 30 million bucks. But yeah, this was pre-orders on the website, so it's probably near record-breaking in that aspect. And well, yeah, they didn't deliver. Journey's over. Sorry. Anyway, I thought that was really interesting. If you got any inside info, if you know what's going on there, if you got any ideas of what went wrong, I reckon it was the, you know, mostly the tracking stuff, because that's where, otherwise it's just a drone, right? It works as a drone. I'm sure it does, right? It's got 4 rotors and it flies and hovers and you know, it's got a pan tilt thing for the camera, whatever. Right, all basic stuff, you know, run-of-the-mill stuff you can buy for a couple $100 off the shelf these days, and they work just fine, mostly. So it's got to be the automated tracking algorithms and everything else, how they were doing the tracking. I think it was a watch, was it? I'm not entirely sure of the details, but yeah, and it knew how far away it was. I don't think it did it visually. Maybe they pivoted in the engineering. This thing, maybe they thought, oh yeah, we'll use a watch, and then somebody, you know, some smart ass came in and went, oh, we can do all this, you know, it just visually we can track a target with an object and then run OpenCV or something, and we can, you know, I don't know, I'm just guessing, right? But maybe they pivoted too many times, didn't focus on their original solution, or their original technical solution didn't work. Not entirely sure, but yeah, Lily drones, wah 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 wah. Catch you next time. And that'd be a lesson to you when you take other people's money. At least they're going to try and refund, but where the 30 million bucks is coming from, I don't know. Catch you next time.